guys like this video, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you guys are interested in a personal session, check out my website, ReadingsWithBree.com. And now if you guys are interested in some more exclusive content, I now have my Patreon, The Cosmic Circle, Readings with Bree, where you're going to dive into weekly crystal ball and tarot readings, to monthly Q&As, hypnosis recordings, tarot classes, and more. So if you guys want to be an exclusive member and join me on that journey, I'll put the link below. But thank you to each and every one of you for all your love and support. It truly means the world to me, and I just love you guys so very much. So let's dive into the topic for today. What's going on, lovely soul family? How are you guys doing today? My goodness, I woke up a little bit tired, to be honest, but I was having some really interesting experiences over the last couple days that relate to, let's say, timeline shifts and just like unexplainable little things that have been falling together. So it was kind of interesting, and I thought that I would do a 2026 energy report because I know for you guys, I have been consistently talking about moving into a 1 year when we're looking at 2026 with numerology and also that fire horse. But when it comes to looking at 2026 energy reports, I'm going to do a general one for you guys here today. And then I'm going to be doing multiple videos to break down different countries as well. So that'll be to be continued. But for today, you guys, it was kind of interesting. I have a few cards that came out for this 2026 energy, but I was just taking a few moments this morning, laying in bed. I was tired, but I also couldn't sleep. And there was like a message that came in, and that message, you guys, was 2026 is the year that humanity stops pretending and we start pivoting. So it's going to be quite a crucial year, and I want to dive into that for you today with the crystal ball and also the oracles and the tarot. But you know what's interesting, last night, just sharing an experience as well, I put my intentions to connect to my Lyran guide that has been coming in, and I drifted off to sleep, but I woke up like in a panic, like my heart was racing. I don't really know what happened or like what jolted me up in such a panic, but it was pretty intense, and I didn't think much of it last night. I, got some water, went back to bed, and then this morning as I was reflecting on it, I'm like, oh my goodness, I feel like this is also connections into this energy because it is not a subtle energy. So I'm going to share for a moment what I have with the oracles because it's quite interesting. We have the bear, serendipity literally flew out. I was going to shuffle these oracles online, but as I went to go put it down, this one flew out, so I'm going to keep it. And then we also have the dolphin. Now, starting off with the bear, you guys, what comes to your guys' mind? I bet you can guess. This is coming up out of hibernation, right? And that is very connected with the download that I got this morning, because the bear is looking at a symbolism of the collective consciousness awakening from a long energetic sleep. Okay, this is a long time coming, and their truth, the rise of power, this is sovereignty, this is protection, right? It really has a beautiful like reclaiming our true self and stepping out of that survival mode. Now what's interesting is the serendipity, which is also the number 18. We are currently, as I'm filming this, still in 2025, and we are in that 9 year, which is 9 is that endings, and what's after 9? A number 1 year, which we're going to dive into deeper. But when we look at the serendipity, you guys, this is really about, to me, a rerouting of also timelines, because this has been a consistent thing coming up in my personal life. So again, as always, you guys, I'm just sharing my perspective. Please tune into, your heart and your energy. But this linked with a 2026 fire horse is not a gentle energy. This is a fast nudge and a rapid rerouting when it comes to our timeline as a collective, okay? And this is unexpected endings. This is big shifts in 2026. And one of the big things that I got not too long ago when I was in meditation, and I've got this a little bit when we were looking into even the December report, the monarchy, the monarchy in the Vatican, big, I can say like big shifts and dynamics within royalty. Okay, so that's going to be a big topic for 2026. Now, the dolphin, how beautiful is this dolphin, you guys? Now, how did the dolphins communicate? Through a various amount of different ranges when it comes to frequencies, okay? Now, I'm not going to go too extensive into this because it is on my Patreon if you guys are interested to go check that out. But I did a recent video of, do you guys remember back with the trumpets? There was sounds of trumpets in the skies going back to, from my experience, 2008, maybe 2009, but there were reports recorded all the way to 2012, if I'm not mistaken. And recently, there has been an unexplainable hum in Whitehorse. Now, I went into that tarot reading, over on my Patreon if you guys are interested to check that out. But I actually get connections with the dolphin because it is that hum, it is that frequency. And when we look at this is also that surge that overrides, I feel like, that logical narratives, and a lot of it's overriding the logical survival mode in humanity here. So very interesting that these came out. Now, lots of synchronistic accelerations with the serendipity and the dolphin. And this is, I feel like, cosmic communication. So on top of that, I feel like 2026 is going to be a bit of a doorway or an opening for more communications with our star family, our soul family. Just an amped up energy as we continue. But also a big message, you guys. I know we've all been saying this, but it's a big orchestration. It's a big show. And that is that serendipity card. 2026 is going to awaken a lot of people's inner power and activate our intuition, reroute our timelines depending on where each and every one of us are energetically. But what I can say with the serendipity is the universe is rearranging events to put humanity back on a soul-aligned trajectory is what I get. So one thing I really want you guys to remember here, okay, everything that is happening is part of a larger orchestration with the serendipity card, because I said earlier, 2026 may get spicy. Okay, so let's dive into this a little bit more in detail, because I want to do a dive for you guys on the fire horse and the one energy for 2026. What can we expect? Now, before we dive in, you guys, I brought up some stuff here that I wanted to share with you guys because I want to give you a bit of what kind of energy that fire horse has. So we went back to the last date. Let's take a trip down memory lane. 1966 was the last fire horse year. So I started doing some digging to see okay, what happened in 1966? Well, one of the first thing that really came to my attention here was a big cultural revolution that happened in China. This was one of the biggest societal upheavals in modern history. It was a really turbulent year, you guys. We also have the Vietnam War escalating here as well. We have the US doubling down, protest rising, political division. We have awakening moments. So again, that fire horse pattern is people challenging authority like never before, okay? Very, very key. So again, 1966 wasn't necessarily a one numerology year, but it is the fire horse. So I want to just share some of those energies because it can absolutely relate to what we're going to go through in this 2026 year. Now, again, something else, we have the USSR landed a probe on the moon. So technological breakthroughs exploding here. Now, this is a little bit random, and correct me, you guys, if I have this wrong, but I think I read too in 1966, the first chatbot was developed. So, when we look at the fire horse energy, again, this is innovations at a rapid speed, but sometimes it's a reckless energy. So, I encourage you guys all to use your discernment, because robots, AI, and technology, and also looking at health too, health in the medical field. I do think there will be lots of breakthroughs, but again, med beds have been one a lot of people are still consistently asking about, and just use your discernment with them, okay? I'll just say that. I have done videos on that in the past. So with that being said, you guys, I want to also touch base for a moment on that number 1 numerology, and then we're going to do a bit of a dive on what we can expect for 2026. Now, if we look at the number 1 as a universal year, again, I will be going into this in more depth depending on each individual country, because they have their own energies as well, and that will be in a different video. But it's not just that new beginnings. Number 1 is a representation, yes, of new starts. It's a fresh energy. However, it is more about these massive endings that create a bit of a forced new beginning, okay, from what I can share. And it is going to be spicy with that fire horse, because from what I've seen, there's going to be more protests, more people coming out. There's going to be governments trying to double down, you guys, for 2026. So it's not a gentle year. It is unexpected. Will be protests, strikes, there will be political upheavals here, and a really big pushback when it comes to corruption, okay? Now, humanity is going to step out of their passive mode for 2026, you guys, and let's go back. Let's take another quick trip down memory lane. 2008 was a big one. That is also a 1 numerology year. What happened in 2008? The market crashed. Millions of people lost their homes, their jobs. Banks required massive bailouts. So just even looking at that, it is the reset. Like 2008, again, carries a different vibration, a different energy than 2026. But in its essence, it's still a 1 year. 2017 is another one. Donald Trump became president. Also, what else happened in 2017? I believe there was the largest women's march, or the protests that came together. There was some crisis in North Korea. So massive cyber attacks was also another one. So you guys, like, you can see there's going to be a consistent energy that combines this 1 year with 2026. So with that being said, let's dive into the tarot and also the crystal ball and see what we can get for the momentum with the energy of a fire horse and a 1 year together for 2026. All right. I see that tower falling out already. All right, Spirit, what can you share for the collective when it comes to 2026? What do we need to know about 2026 and this number 1 energy? What can we expect? I guess we're doing some reversals today. Ooh, look at this, you guys. There is that tower. I told you I seen that tower moment. All right, again, I'm just going to see if I can get this on the screen nicer for you guys. All right, you guys, so I'm really looking forward to diving into these cards for you. There's a lot of big energies coming out, and yes, we have that tower when it comes to that spicy energy, but there's a lot of really big, really positive cards and energies coming out. So let's dive in now. Off the bat, you guys, looking at the High Priestess in reverse here, okay, this is over the current state of 2026, and when we look at this, this is what's been hidden cannot stay hidden any longer. So 2025 has been that endings. It's been a lot of upheavals and like pulling out those weeds, right? And these things are really coming to surface. The truth is sometimes it's gonna hurt, it's gonna sting, and that's why I feel like we're gonna see a lot of intense energies, because this is also showing that our leaders, these corrupt people, because look at what card came out over the challenge, the King of Cups. These are leaders and governments that can't hide behind the mask any longer. Okay, very key. So when we look at this, there is quite a bit of confusion before clarity as well. It's like people really realizing that they have believed in a false narrative all along. So interesting enough, you guys, too, as I said, we have that king energy and big attention, because when I was doing my December report, I kept seeing a crown to represent the monarchy. So big, I would say, shifts again within the royal family specifically here. Now, the King of Cups in the challenge as well is showing a big, like, the world lacks emotional leadership, okay? It's just all these greeds and select few that are pulling the strings on the top. And these political figures are extremely unstable. There's been unstable energy for a while, but 2026 is a big year that breaks them. So interesting enough, we have, what do we need to focus on? We have the Two of Swords in reverse, and this is those blinders coming off, you guys. This is really exciting energy because the truth becomes unavoidable. Again, it's gonna get a little spicy because that truth may be a little hard to stomach for a lot of us, but needless to say, it is something that is coming out, something that we can experience and move through here in order to wake up as well. So this is really, really positive within the outcomes here, you guys. So again, this is also a bigger divide. I'm getting a little bit of an energy for the first 2 to 4 months of 2026 with the Two of Swords, and I'm seeing the environment as the Four of Pentacles. So this is a really crucial turning point, and I have consistently got something about March of 2026 as well being very important keynote. So we can look at that at another time, but again, the first 2 to 4 months, which would also include the March energy, is going to be really crucial with these blinders coming off. I'm going to see what else I can get in the crystal ball, but I feel like this could actually be a big takedown of a very high political person, or maybe this is somebody within a royal family or a high status that is actually, so-called removed, imprisoned, okay? There's accountability there. So the Two of Swords is a big blinders coming off for the collective, okay? Confrontation when it comes to the truth. Now, when we look at what's leaving us, it's kind of interesting because we have the Page of Swords here. And this is my social media card also, you guys. So, the social media likes to portray one specific narrative. And with the Page of Swords, this could also represent like a scattered thoughts, right? Look at, what's interesting? Look at the television. It's telling a vision. It's broadcasting when it comes to the channels and the energy within our body. It's kind of interesting to look at the actual names for certain things, such as a TV, television, and it's, what does it do? Broadcasting. Also looking at all of these like little aspects of things that come to the surface that kind of connect the dots. So when I see this is my big social media card, right? And I would say what's leaving us behind are the narratives of scattered thoughts and misinformation. So again, more truth is going to absolutely come out in 2026, which is why it's a big pivotal year for people not being passive, because that truth is going to be literally staring them in the face. The blinders are off. Again, that doesn't mean the entire collective is going to see this and be on board. We all have our own journeys, but just kind of interesting to see, again, confirmations come out again and again. Now, looking at our strengths here, this is kind of interesting. Okay, I'm going to say that there's something coming in with the crystal ball, and this is starting to connect the dots because within my dreams, I've been having a lot of weird dreams with celebrities. And it's like, okay, what is going on here? But this is what I'm seeing the past with the social media, and a big topic, the celebrities, that's a big one as well. I feel like that could be a video all on its own, but we're moving away from, let's say, putting these people on a pedestal. Okay, so that's a big message for this Page of Swords energy is about showing different gossip cultures, the cultures that has really been pushed between like putting these stars on this high pedestal is being dismantled. Okay, and we can see that happening in 2025 with all these cases with, trafficking rings and P. Diddy and just in general, right? So we could see the dismantling of Hollywood already happening, but that's a big thing that's also going to continue. So big takedowns of political figures. This could also relate to consistently looking at the removal of people within Hollywood as well. Again, it's all a big show. It's all a big theater, you guys. Now, if we look at what is our greatest strengths for 2026, we do have the Six of Swords here. And I love this because this is the ability for us to move to, we can say, that new world. It is the ability to change, the ability to adapt. We don't have to be perfect in this transition, you guys. You just have to be willing to be open to change and to be seen and to see new perspectives. So this is the calm after the storm. And our strengths here shows that as a collective, we are ready to move from that old world into something new. And look at where we're moving. The near future is the Ace of Cups. How fabulous is that? So what I can say, this is unstoppable. Like, we are at that threshold point where this is unstoppable and we are moving forward to this. Okay, so greatest strength for 2026 is the collective and the willingness for people to evolve. Very, very positive, very, very key. I'm excited. So the near future, look at this, Ace of Cups, fabulous. Now, this is also that one energy. So how perfect is that? To look at, and we have two aces here, which is phenomenal. So seeing that ace is showing spiritual awakening, emotional renewing, right? This is a fresh chapter that is coming in. So it feels like even the first quarter, the first 2 to 4 months is what I get very strongly, could be a very key point to, it's like, just beautiful energy coming about. But this is more than beautiful energy. It's almost like this wake up from the dead. Look at the Judgment as the outcome here. People are going to be renewed, but I mean this in actual physical energy, like physical health is renewing here. There's a shift in the way we communicate. Telepathic communication is going to increase substantially from what I feel in 2026. And what I can see in the crystal ball are seeing these beautiful colors. It's like, again, these holographic colors that come out. So very key for moving into the first quarter potentially of 2026 here. But this is also the rise of new alliances. So as these corrupt individuals are taken down, there's new energy coming up. That being said, I've said this before, it's not about putting somebody in charge that is going to so-called save the day, you guys. It's about putting the people in a community where we can compassionately rise together. And this is reconnecting with our intuition. This is, yes, new leadership coming about, but in a different way. Okay, it's not in that dictatorship way, not in this guy. Okay, so there's a big softening after a big shocking moment. So you guys remember going back, this wasn't this year, I think it was last year, 2024, where there's that Miami Mall incident, like January 1st, I think, or something like that, right in the beginning of 2026, whatever year that was, 2024, I think. And I do get a bit of that energy with 2026, not necessarily like the Miami Mall incident, but there is going to be a big situation that happens very fast in 2026 that is going to shake things up, okay? But it is going to be extremely positive as we move forward here, okay? So when we look at the advice, we have the Ace of Swords coming out here, and this is fabulous. This is a cut through when it comes to like just discernment. This is truth. This is that High Priestess and the blinders coming off and clarity coming to surface. So again, the first beginning of potentially 2026, or even just looking in general 2025, there's just so much confusion. People don't know what to believe, what not to believe, with also the rise of AI and technology. But this is cutting through the veil. So there's going to be a lot more people not falling for these old narratives. There's going to be a lot more people coming together to pursue the truth. And that's where there is going to be, yes, a rise of more protests. Now, it is a big card of breakthrough, which absolutely fits with the shift of 2026 because it's an identity shift. We are shifting our identity going into next year. Now, interesting, I always like to see the environment. What is the environment going to look like? We have the Four of Pentacles here, and this is sometimes trying to hold on to, those resources. But again, governments also looking at some of these big leaders, they are holding on for dear life. And what is that going to look like for us in 2026? That means they're most likely going to double down and make things more intense because more people are rising. Look at the situation of what's happening in Canada. I believe we just joined the EU, making military alliances and, weapon deals and all of that stuff. And from my perspective, you guys, it's not about some external threats. It's more so about an internal instability because they're doubling down, because they know the people are like they also follow. You guys, I encourage you guys, study numerology, study astrology. They do follow this stuff. It's patterns, it's repetition, it's looking at these things on that level. So it's kind of interesting to see the tarot really confirm that too. It makes me excited. So I love the tarot, you guys. But the Four of Pentacles is that tightening down, right? That is that doubling down. It's going to get a little more intense because again, these leaders are following, so they're going to try to hold on to all the resources that they can. When these structures feel, let's say, threatened, they cling even tighter. Okay. And I mean, we know that, but we're going to see that more so with quite a few issues coming up. But again, this is people saying, okay, we're not going to just be passive and roll over anymore. So it is a big shift, a much different shift than looking even at, say, 2008 or 2017, for example, or a different fire horse year. This is a different energy because it also has that one with the fire horse. And looking at breaking down 2026, like that 6 energy is nurturing, it is loving, it's community. So that is that community coming together. When we go backwards and look at 2028, 8's still a karmic number. It is power, it's money, it's wealth. So it is those structures really focusing on that, but it's much of a different vibration for 2026. So again, this is the old paradigm that is clutching on because their stability is threatened. Their structure is threatened. It's fallen down, you guys. So it's just interesting to see that as the external. So on another point, I can say, make sure you guys protect yourself. Again, none of this is out of fear, but I mean, get creative, get curious about making your own foods, because I do see also, with them doubling down, it's going to increase a lot of uncomfortable situations. Especially with I feel like the agricultural, like the food industry is going to be a big one. The food and water industry is going to be a big one. And one thing I will share to end with that Four of Pentacles, you guys, is they're holding on so tight and doubling down because they know what's coming. And look at that world. They know their old world is ending and a new one is forming here. A new timeline that is not going to benefit these corrupt guys. So the world in this, you guys, is showing I'm honestly, next to this, a global healing for humanity. And I mean that quite literally on different levels, especially with Mother Earth. This is a big Mother Earth energy and us as her children, a global awakening with the judgment as the outcome. How phenomenal, but also a healing that takes place. So again, that final destiny card within humanity is the Judgment. Look at that card. And this very much connects to those trumpets in the sky, those sounds and the trumpets in the sky, you guys. I do encourage you guys to go check out that video if you're interested, because there was a lot of really big energies that went way deeper than I was really expecting. So a lot of big shifts that have been happening since that 2008 to 2012 mark that have been shifting us on where we're at now, shifting us to where we're at now. But this judgment is truth revealed. This is that karmic reckoning and really this resurrection that's happening. So just absolutely phenomenal. So overall, you guys, 2026, humanity's waking up and the world hears that call. So a new chapter is beginning within that. So I'm going to take a few moments to end on doing a crystal ball gaze to see what other messages or energies that I can get. Again, there's already a big throne coming out of the chair. Coming out of the chair. There's a big throne coming out of the crystal ball. It's like this massive chair, very king-like. And it's morphing into an antelope. Interesting. Okay, let me see what else I can get from this. Now, again, you guys, seeing this massive throne in the crystal ball, I will say this, the throne is empty, okay? It takes up almost the entire ball, but there's nobody in it. It's like that seat of power. And the fact that it is morphing, it's like it's dissolving. And the antelope, I mean, look at that. It's like, to me, is precise. It is quick. It is instant. So it's like this dissolving, and the intuition is very in tune with its surroundings, right? So if we look at this, I see it as a symbolism of also the collective. Its intuition is very much sharpening, and it's a pivot year with that. Look at the fire horse. It's a fast energy, and that antelope feels like an instant pivot. So very big year when it comes to shifting timelines, you guys, shifting your frequencies, really tuning into yourself during these times, okay? When I see this, let's see what else I can get from it. I get a big message like freedom. Freedom comes out very strongly. It's like that wild sovereign creature, right? It's not bowing to a ruler. So when we see this, it's also taking off super fast. So this is a symbolism of the collective being able to outmaneuver any threats that are also coming in, because I do think there's going to be a lot of them for 2026. There's going to be a lot of doubling down from our institutions on all aspects, okay? So spicy year, you guys, but think of it as the agility within that antelope and the ability to maneuver and pivot based off of where you're at, okay? So that's what I can say. The world transforms into the spirit of freedom in 2026. So that's really cool. All right, let's see what else we can get here. So there is a really interesting 3-tiered system that's coming out, you guys. Not I don't want to say it in terms of like a system. This is just how I'm seeing it in the crystal ball. And there's a smaller one, and then a medium-sized, and then there's also this full-blown like holographic field that's coming out, okay? So this is, to me, what I'm seeing. And what's really interesting is it feels like underneath you, this is really weird imagery, but you guys know that Scream guy, like the mask, the Scream guy, he is underneath looking at these floating 3 energetic tier systems, and he is melting in the background. Okay, so what I'm seeing through this as well is transitional systems emerging, especially with a financial system. Okay, now, this is not something, again, that is going to happen overnight. And I'm actually symbolically feeling, or I guess I should say intuitively feeling, like this is not necessarily all 2026. This is representing 2026, 2027, and then 2028 with that holographic tier on the top. So they're bridge phases. It's almost like this rainbow bridge kind of connecting them, which is interesting. And what I can see too is, again, the move. The system will take more of a decentralized, is what it's showing, because that screen guy, the image of that screen guy, is his face is literally melting into nothing, which is really interesting here. Again, how I can relate that to the fire horse is the destroyer of stagnant energies here. And when it comes to, interesting enough, in this tarot spread, we didn't really get any pentacles other than the corrupt trying to hold on to their pentacles to the best of their abilities. So the old financial grid will lose its dominance in 2026. Doesn't mean everything is all put together next year, but this is it extremely is weakened, and you guys can start to see more wealth restructuring for the people from what I get. It's like, I don't know exactly how this is going to look, but it feels like more of like new ways of financial systems coming together. Okay, massive shifts, and it does start quite strongly next year. But again, something very symbolic about these 3 tiers. So I'm feeling like 3 stages is what I get over the next 3 years. And I mean, I don't mean to squirrel and get off topic, you guys, but it really hit me about like a week ago when I was looking at I think I mentioned this somewhere in one of my videos, so sorry if you guys are rehearing this again, but it really hit me so hard when, even just in Canada here, there was a like $75 million government campaign that I think went to the States to do like a 1-minute commercial of Ronald Reagan talking about the tariffs. Anyway, what pinpointed my awareness was like, holy crap, 75 million, which is just a small little teeny morsel part of the puzzle, you guys, part of the whole system. And when I looked at, okay, what's the population of Canada anyway? So I looked that up, and it was 41 million, if I'm not mistaken. That could absolutely take care of, just that 75 million could take care of everyone in Canada. You know what I mean, you guys? Like, there should be no hunger. There should be no homeless people. Like, it's just mind-blowing to see how far things have really came. It's sad, but again, it's part of our journey and it's part of our awakening, and we are really looking beautiful with this wake-up call as the outcome. So with that being said, you guys, really positive energy there. So again, very big message for a lot of these awakenings to happen excuse me, moving forward in 2026. But again, with this, I also think there is a very big purpose. Remember that serendipity card? It has to happen in these, like, not everything could be dumped at once, because we could not handle it. Most of us, even though I know you guys are ready for this, a lot of this cannot handle it, and it would create a complete break within society. So it's like these have to happen in stages as well, okay? It's kind of like taking a fish out of water. It's not going to be able to survive. So it's changing it. It's going through these systems in terms of like the economy and removing these leaders and really just turning over a new chapter. So let's see if there's any other things coming out here for you guys. Now, something that I'm seeing that's interesting are 2 hearts, but they're mirroring each other. And something that I'm getting is this is connected to the dolphins, because when you look at their brains, like, they have very advanced neurowiring, and it's like one part of their brain is completely wired for, I feel like, being conscious and aware, and the other part is at rest. So there's something about a difference within how we are moving forward with our biology as well, our physical bodies into 2026. And again, this is just an energy report, but it's like, look at this card. The outcome of the judgment is awakening from the dead. Now, I don't necessarily mean people are going to be coming out of their graves alive, but there's something about a literal healing happening here. So what I can say with these mirrored hearts in the crystal ball is we can maybe have unexplained miracles really happening here. And when I was talking to Spirit before about this is not like in that realm. What we call miracles is like just an everyday occurrence for them is what I was getting from my guides. We just see it much differently here in this reality, and this is going to start to become more normal, where healing, like spontaneous healing, maybe we have people that have been very ill or having diseases, and this is them healing at an accelerated rate with the fire horse. So quite interesting, you guys. So overall, with this energy, I really think I'll probably wrap up here in a second because I don't like to go too long in my videos. I am going to be diving into more specific country-based energy predictions and reports, and I'm going to do them separately just so we can dive into them in more detail, because I think that would be a lot of fun and to see where everything's at energetically. But this is kind of the momentum moving forward for 2026, you guys. So let's pull a couple final oracles here and see what messages want to come out. Spirit, what can you share with the energy of final messages for 2026? What can we expect? Ooh, you guys, I just talked about, okay, we have blessings. I was talking about the energetic healings that could happen. We have blessings, we have light, back of the deck's transformation. Let's get one more, Spirit. Okay, we got two more, which is hope and strength as well, with the back of the deck being reflect now. So interesting. So again, when we look at 2026, how I can conclude this in terms of final messages for you guys, like I feel like the old humanity has not maybe realized this, but we cannot go back to this old world because we're already in that transitional period. Remember our strengths are that Six of Swords. We've already been transitioning for a very long time, and this old system already doesn't work. It's just about that old identity and us reflecting on what it is that we need to bring to light here, and that will strengthen our hope and our blessings as well. How beautiful is that? So again, a final message that I get with that, remember when I was talking about the kind of the dual energies with the double hearts and the two brain energies, it's like a dual brain, like the intellect and intuition are merging. Again, if you've been, hanging out with me for a bit, I've talked a lot about the fusion, and it's that fusion. So trust, you guys, trust your inner compass and be open to reflecting, be open to change and adaptability. And there are a lot of beautiful things coming our way, financially, health-wise, collectively, like coming together as communities. So through this chaos, it's pretty beautiful, because I see like you know what I see with those double hearts? Like it's like a unified consciousness. Our hearts are syncing up. So it's like we're able to feel each other more, right? It's the breakdown of softening years and years of fragmentation. So people stop attacking each other. It's a brutal world out there on social media, and people just, being mean, right? But this is the people starting to understand each other and their collective nervous system, what I'm seeing too. I'll kind of conclude here with this message, but again, I've been consistently seeing a lot about our DNA. Not too long ago, I was given something very specific about 12V, which was like a 12 voltage, or like a 12 strand energy, but a lot about our nervous system is repairing after a long time of tensions. And this is fabulous to see people and humanity reflecting and being able to transition through this. So we're transitioning through that tower moment. We've got that Six of Swords, that tower, but then that outcome is a massive wake-up call, and again brings me back to one of my really beginning tarot crystal ball readings when I said I seen that tarot or the judgment card, and it was like a switch. It's a switch, it's a timeline shift as well. So interesting. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm gonna conclude there. I feel like there's so many more energies we can go into, so I'll be doing I'll definitely be doing more reports on 2026 to come. But thank you for joining me on a bit of a breakdown of the numerology and the fire horse and diving into the tarot and crystal ball. I love you guys, and I'm looking forward to the next video. So until next time, beautiful souls, bye for now.